Okay, my name is Primrose, and I'm going to be talking about sex, you all. Because it's something that I do, it's something that I'd like to do when I'm fucking 60. So hence I don't have any qualms about talking about it, or how to do it, or when to do it, or when it hinders me, or whatever. You know, I'm just here to talk about sex.
Hello, I'm Shubi, and I love sex. I'm also 35.
I'm Sibo, and I'm open to this discussion.
Hi, I'm Tandy, and I'm all for this sex talk thing. It's the only thing I know and love. It's an expression, you know what I mean? It's creative, it's beautiful.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I really want to talk about sex. That's the only reason why I'm here tonight. I don't care about anything else, I just want to talk about sex. I need to talk about it.
I'm Astrid, and I'm here to talk about sex. But the more serious side is that I've experienced losses from AIDS. My father died of AIDS, and sex is a beautiful thing, but we need to be responsible, and I'm here to talk about that.
Everyone keeps on saying, you shouldn't, you shouldn't, you shouldn't. But in reality, what is happening? That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear what you think should be and shouldn't be done. I want to hear what is being done now.
I'm at a space right now where I'm not sure what's normal. So I'm hoping to, out of this conversation, find out, like, what's normal?
Your world views about it, you know, things that influence your views around sex, your culture, your religion, your upbringing.
The physical, when you come down to the nitty-gritty, what is going on up there?
You should start with your first sex experience and then go from there. That's a nice way to start it.
Yeah.
We all had our first sex experience.
I didn't believe in love and romance. So I made a decision, a very conscious one, that I'm going to get rid of this virginity thing, because it was such a huge issue in the family. Like, you know, if you're a virgin, somehow you're more sort of worthy or pure. Jesus loves you, you know.
It was like fucking painful. It was this like hectic thing that's coming into me, right? And I'm having, I'm bleeding at this point. Am I having my menstrual cycle, or is this out of sex, or is this like, I'm curious, right? And he's kind of like, okay, you're a woman now. I've made you a woman. I'm thinking, okay.
He was Scottish in a kilt,
Oh, yes.
and he played for the Caledonian Society, bagpipes, nogal. And he was very romantic with red hair. And that was my first time. And I ended up saying to him, is that all?
This is the man I'm going to marry. I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this man. So I'm like, do with me whatever the hell it is that you want. I wasn't even turned on. I didn't even know what we were going to be doing. So he's like, pants unzipped and everything down. And he's like, I just want to feel your warmth. So I'm like, okay.
Give me a hug.
I'm like, okay, baby. And you feel this warm, big, huge thing. Like you said, it's like an invasion. It goes fucking jabbing right in you. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm a virgin and I'm 23 years old now. And
Props to
it's
you.
changed. It's changed. My reasons have changed from when I was 13 or 12 and first learned about sex to now when I'm 23. You know, at first it was just like, oh, heck no. Look at that. No, you know. It's just that kind of reaction. And then moving into teenagehood where I was like, validation, where am I trying to get my validation from? I didn't want it to come from having to depend on a guy making me feel good for me to feel good about myself.
My dad was like, he never spoke about it, like, at all. Like, it was something that didn't exist.
Yeah.
And then, like, one day, he was just like, are you a virgin? I was like, what?
When I was growing up, there wasn't a thing like sex. In my family, sex didn't exist. I think it still doesn't. It's something that it's not talked about at all, just as if it doesn't exist at all.
In our culture, it's not easy for them to talk about sex to the younger people. I don't know why.
I've got a son who's 18 and who I know is probably having sex, and I speak very openly about it to him and his girlfriend. I will put condoms in the room because I'm going to be living in fantasy land if I think he's not doing it.
When I was growing up as well, my first period, all my mother told me was, like, I went into the toilet and I told my mother I'm bleeding. So she says, she comes into the toilet, she brings me a pad and she tells me, you mustn't let the boys touch you over there. That's all she told me.
If your mother knows that if there is AIDS, she will tell you that I know that there is AIDS outside there, but it's your choice to prevent it. But she won't give you how to prevent AIDS. She won't sit down with you and tell do this and this and this to prevent HIV and AIDS.
It's really very frightening because we're almost pretending that our children are not having sex. And as much as it would freak the living hell out of you, and you're going to be excommunicated and you're going to go to hell, I'd much rather negotiate my deal with God than not tell my son about a condom.
The Bible says sex is good. Sex is good in the context of marriage. And when you believe the word of God and you wait until marriage, when you have that first night sexual experience, what you're going to think? Sex is good.
At 15, 14, 15, 16, 17, I mean, it depends on where you are, I suppose. You are not emotionally ready for this shit, let me tell you. I mean, a whole lot of things start happening to you.
We as a society, we don't talk about sex. We can't talk about sex with our families. We don't talk about sex. We talk about sex amongst ourselves. We talk about sex a lot. Women talk about sex all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And we talk about everything to do with sex.
A friend of mine bought me a vibrator for my last birthday, which was great. I thought, like, my boyfriend was very unimpressed, I might say. He felt completely threatened. Never wanted me to touch it. I don't know. It's definitely... I enjoy masturbating.
Do I play with myself? Yes, I do. Is that masturbating? If you say yes or I don't know. I love my boobs. I love everything about myself. So I play with myself, of course, yes.
Masturbating during sex as well for a woman is also fun.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and it does wonders for a guy.
I used to never even realize that you could actually do it, and then like one day I just like discovered this and I was like, oh my god.
It's absolutely taboo. In Islam, it really is taboo, masturbation. But c'est la vie. Such is life.
Well, I was single for a while, and I went into a sex shop. My youngest daughter know about it, she don't. And I bought myself a toy because
Why do I know about this?
Because you don't scratch in my cupboards. Bianca do that. And she found it, okay? And yeah, but you know what? I actually would like to do that with my male partner. I would like to, but I don't know how to do it. They will think they can't pleasure me. And that's what it's all about, insecurity with guys. I wish I can correct that. Why do they feel so insecure? Why?
Are we saying that men are obsessed with their penises, and if they can't get them up, well, it's the end of the world? Because it's their manhood.
It takes a touch to have a man's penis stand up.
I think the guys that have big egos have small penis because they like to say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'll do this to you, I'll do that to you. And then when it comes, you see a little towel, you're like, what is this?
That's really odd. I've done biology. I mean, I've been to university. I like bio. I like human anatomy, and I've never seen them that small. I've never seen them picture that small. I've never seen them drawn that small. Is there something wrong? I said to him, I've got better condoms.
We are close, women. We look the hand, and the feet. If it is the hand, it is big. Yeah, you know. He's got a big one. If he's got a small hand, there's nothing.
Oh, you're so big. Oh, you know, I just don't buy into all that.
Most of them get their sex education from, they get them from
You just
porn
feel like,
movies,
hello, we've evolved. Surely we, you know, higher than this sort of thing, you know.
So we get to the hotel room, and he starts and he goes and he starts going down on me.
Oh, and it's like, oh God, please don't come up until I tell you to come up. Eventually I said, I'm feeling so guilty, come up, and he starts to kiss me and whatever, and he gets undressed. And I am so aroused, and his body is beautiful, and then he takes off his trousers, and there's this little itsy bitsy willy.
It's not really about the size, whether it's big or small. It depends how you use it.
Like basically women can satisfy themselves with their own body, basically. But now if your penis is a bit smaller than my fingers, what's the point I have you around?
They have this thing where they go out and they want to conquer, and that's what's in a man, and that's what men are like, and that's why there's Tarzan and Jane.
What connects the rape of children to the rape of 80-year-old women, for example, is male entitlement to women's bodies. It's not that we don't like men. It's just that the system under which we rule allows men to have unfettered or unchallenged access to women's bodies.
Our men, in a sense, we can't actually blame them because they're only doing what they'd seen growing up. The man being the dominant person in the household, and sex is basically sex. If I want it, I get it.
So, like, the two genders are taught by mothers, by fathers, by brothers and sisters and mates, etc., to have two different perspectives on sexuality. Women to be passive, to not be showing enjoyment of sexuality. It's all about virgin whore, If they showed like they were enjoying sex, they would be called whores. So they have to be like the virgin and say, oh, I am so ever so pious, I'm just lying and spreading my legs like a chicken, so for you to get off.
Women use sex as a weapon. All kinds of women do this. If you want this, then I want this, and you want sex, so we're gonna do an exchange kind of thing. And I think that's the power that women have.
But I think women like to be dominated sometimes. They like that. I think they like somebody else taking charge because in other areas of their life, they have to be in control. So it's nice in a sexual relationship to just not have any say over control, to let someone else control you.
I mean, it's a cliche to say women are controlled in society by the fear of being raped, for example. And that's the type of a way men exercise their sexuality and their dominance to disadvantage women.
I think rape is when a man having sex with a woman without a woman's consent.
It doesn't have to be a violent act. All that it has to be is one of the two parties, and it can be male or female, saying no.
I have been told by a man that I basically raped him because he didn't.
Women say they don't want to have sex and everything, but yet they dress like they do. And you see, at the end of the day, we might say no, 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 but if we're going to show parts of our body that say yes, of course a man's going to believe that that's what we want.
He bought you a drinks and gives you more drinks. No is no. So even if he's doing that, it's a rape because he knows that after the drinks, what will happen.
As quick as I got into the marriage, I left because I was physically abused and I was forced. He always forced himself onto me, and I wasn't prepared to carry on like that.
Yeah, I said no, and then I slept on the couch, and the next minute I knew he was all over me, and I remember kicking him in his face, off me, and running out screaming for help.
I was sexually molested as a child by my uncle in my grandmother's house. I'm the only person in my family that spoke out when I realized it was wrong. And even when I spoke out, I didn't know it was wrong. It was something that... So Tommy, I got told afterwards, I overheard aunties saying, well, I was quite a provocative child.
So it irritates me when people come to us and say, have you heard about the rape of that little child? And isn't it awful? And what are we doing? And what are the police doing? But they do nothing when a father next door is accused of maybe not brutally raping the child, if I may, but not causing physical injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? We have the gangsters. Yeah, more especially in the black community. If you're not pretending man when you have sex with a gangster, I'm telling you, she's gonna ask you, what's up, bitch? Why are you not screaming? What are you not doing? You're just a fuck off person, man. Just do something, some action. I don't know how we're gonna do action, although we won't feel thing. I don't know. That's like very depressing.
If you are not feeling, and just imagine you are screaming and your voice, you are hurting your throat, and you are feeling nothing, you are feeling nothing. It's very bad.
Every day you tell me some screaming, use that. So, you know what? The girls are the personal clever in the world, man. I'm telling you, that one is not going to notice anything, I'm telling you.
But I will show you that I'm not enjoying it. I won't fake it. I think I can't do that.
I had an ex, and I've never faked, and nor will I. And he said to me that most of his girlfriends, all of his girlfriends came, and I said, well, how can you tell? I said, they've been faking it. Hello, He said, no, they haven't, because he knows, because their nipples go hard or something when they're just about to come.
I think a huge percentage of women fake it. A lot of times just to get it over with.
Everybody said that. I just love you inside of me. Doesn't matter who I just love you. I've never had it this way. Oh, yeah.
When you start to actually think like a man, you begin to enjoy sex more, because then you have the power. You can choose, yes, now, today, this way, that way, and not feel guilty about it. And a lot of it comes with guilt.
So I'm saying you should get better as you get older. And so at the moment, I'm very proud to say that me and my husband, the sex life is the best. I could come actually 7 times. And my husband, every night, he always thinks that it's with some other woman, because that is how I make him feel.
Now we are becoming stronger. As women, we are becoming stronger. We can say what we want. Now, the guys are like babies.
But I'm not going to put myself in a position because he wants a blowjob in the morning and I have to do it, or else he'll sulk. The sulking bit is his problem, not mine.
I've got a couple of issues with guys who don't want to do oral sex because they think, And I'm like, do you think that I wake up in the morning and I want to suck your dick?
To me, it's not that much a priority to get oral sex myself, but I love giving it. I absolutely love giving it. So it's just what I like.
Oral sex, it's like the same. It's giving yourself to someone, it's being intimate with them. It's like,
exactly.
And it's dangerous. It is dangerous.
Like he can lie there and I can just do it to him and it'll be like he can just enjoy it. Why can't he just do the same for me?
It smelled bad, it tastes bad, it smelled bad, everything, yeah. So there is that.
Okay, I like doing it because I like to see them enjoy it. So it just, for me, it just kind of puzzled me how can it not be the other way around?
I do it because it's in the moment and it might give you pleasure. So please, nigga, find the clitoris. Do you know? Find the clit, because you gotta.
You know what? I've had sex with men, and I've had sex with lovely men. Beautiful, fantastic guys that feel exactly the same way as I do. Sex is a communication. You have to communicate if you want to have good sex. And the same problem exists between women. I mean, Cleona's my partner for 4 years now. And it's great. After 4 years, I still get butterflies. You know what? When she kisses me, I'm like, wow.
What is happening mostly in the townships is that they're using sex for alcohol, because you go to the shipping, if you are a girl, you have no money, but you look nice, and then you just sit there. The guys will come and buy you a drink, then you get drunk and go and sleep with them. And those children are very small because they start at the age of 13 to hang around the shippings at night.
At some stage with my guy friends, now my friends, they have this thing. When we're sitting and chatting, they're like, oh my gosh, Mfethu, you know how many girls you've had, They go,
I've had, now it's 16, and you're like thinking, what's 16, you know? And they tell you, no, I've broken 16 girls' virginity.
I'm this person who likes sex. I don't want to lie or anything. I like sex very much. But I would like to, first, I want my partner to feel the same way about me. To not just do sex like he's just doing sex for just now, and then after that he will forget about me or something.
But with us, it's kind of difficult because we're all in tertiary, or you're working, and a guy says they don't want to wear a condom, and it's hard to say no because they can force themselves on you.
I've had an unfortunate experience of having a boyfriend who refused to wear a condom, and was also pretty promiscuous, and believes that if he gets AIDS, well, so what?
Your boyfriend will go, please, baby, just once, you know, please, I beg. And then again, it comes back to you. Do you love yourself to take that risk? Because it could be that second that you thought it wouldn't happen. Okay, and, you know, and you says, okay, I'll take it out as soon as, and you says, okay, no. There you just have to shut down and think.
Well, I refuse point blank to sleep with anybody without a condom, but men of my age, once again, refuse point blank to use them. They don't want to. They don't consider it necessary. They're not ever going to get AIDS. They're not being involved with people that have AIDS, and they're not interested in wearing condoms. I don't know how far you've gone along that road, but I mean,
I've heard stories
they won't.
already about, I'm too big to wear a condom. You don't get my size in a condom. And I say, fine, and that's it, you know. And I'm too small to have you then, you know.
It's like they always have the same excuses as well. Every single time I heard the same things about getting pregnant, so they always say they'll go out in the last minute. And AIDS, it's just like anything else, like driving drunk. It's never going to happen to me. They don't even think about it.
All men prefer not to use condoms. They just prefer not to use it. Because physically it's not the same. I mean, for them, even for me, it's just not the same.
Some girls, they don't like to use a condom because they want to get pregnant, you see? So that the man, he can sit down and take care of them, you see, and all that stuff. But a child, it's not a ring. You're not married when you have a child and all that stuff.
But I don't believe that handing out condoms to teenage kids or to people that are not married, I don't believe that that's solving the problem. I don't necessarily believe that, you know, it's a case of, you know, you wouldn't necessarily contract a sexually transmitted disease if you weren't having sex.
Before we start a relationship, we don't talk about condom, we talk about love. And after love, we introduce condoms. If we can include condom in our first conversation and first whatever dates, I think it will be better.
I haven't really heard of a situation when a guy has refused to put on a condom. I haven't heard like a situation like that yet.
If you know you've got AIDS and you actually are aware of your HIV status and you go out there and you have sex with somebody without a condom, you know, you're basically killing. You're killing people. It's murder.
I had unprotected sex with somebody I didn't know from a bar of soap. He didn't come inside me, luckily for me. A week later, I discovered that he was HIV positive. And I spent the entire week after that drinking myself into oblivion. And he was a really sweet guy. He's a nice guy. He didn't tell me. Anyway, I got tested, and to cut a long story short, I was negative, fortunately for me. But what it did for me was, I mean, it's not a chance that I would take again.
Because our own deputy president said he slept with a woman that's HIV positive, and he said he wasn't HIV positive and he wasn't going to get tested. He just had a shower with Protex, so he's fine. He had a shower after he had sex. You know, so what are we as a country supposed to believe when we hear things like that on national TV?
Okay. I did get tested, and I'm very proud that I did it, because at first I didn't know my status, and I was scared if that I've got HIV or not.
I haven't been for a test because I'm afraid. I'm actually so scared because of choices that I've consciously made. Just in the spur of the moment, in that momentum, I am scared to go and have a test.
I'm from the 60s, I'm afraid. I've been involved in threesomes a couple of times, but never with another female, always with 2 males and 1 female. It is actually a very nice experience. It's a lot of fun, but I do think that you have to be involved in an incredibly emotionally mature relationship to do that.
I've actually done it with 3 men, so it's well, I liked it, of course. It's good to have all the erections around me. It turns you on.
They're orgasm balls for ladies, okay? They're 2 balls, and you can pop them inside of you, okay? And it will help you tighten up. So it strengthens you up. So when your man goes inside, it's really tight and hard for him to get in.
It's the head. Yeah, you just pinch it. Yeah. I only learned that last week. You pinch the head. Not pinch, but actually they say you can actually pinch it quite hard. You just like, as he's just before he comes, and he won't come. While he's inside of you, you cradle his balls basically. So you hold it just a little bit because it's very uncomfortable for them. So they can't think of coming. So what they do is, baby, no, whatever. They'll pull out and you pinch. So it's a whole strategy.
Oh! What? I don't know what that is.
No.
What is
it? I know. Up yours.
Oh, I thought you said evil. I know.
Oh, evil.
No, I never. As well. Never. I thought he said evil.
That is evil, Nella.
No, I know a lot of people that like that. And that's why I can understand gay men. They say it's wonderful.
Men just listen.
It's awesome.
Men just like it up your ass because it's tighter. That's all. That's all, Nella.
I only tried it once and it was horrible and painful and like, no. We tried everything. What do you call those things? Lubricant. Yeah. And no, it was always get out. No way. It is so no. You just gotta relax. It's painful. Really. It's quite a new one for me, I have to say. But no, it's really nice. Is it nice? So it's worth like persevering and trying to relax.
It's an exit. It's not an entry point. It's clearly an exit. I also think it carries a lot of disease and stuff.
For me, I always thought it would be painful. But when I'm ready, I'll be ready. And when I did experience it, it was actually I was comfortable doing it and I enjoyed it.
And some people have anal sex and they're like, well, I'm a virgin. And to me, that's kind of like,
yeah, definitely.
Are you know?
To me, in the back of my mind, it's always been printed there, AIDS actually came from anal sex. And I'm sure that I'm not wrong.
But I would definitely say in South Africa, shame, I'm sorry. There's no change. There's with learning about AIDS, with learning about sex, with learning about relationship.
In the face of all the problems that we've got, HIV and all this, we, including me, we are having unprotected sex.
If you say you have AIDS, everyone thinks that, okay, you are a whore, you've been sleeping around, you are dirty, you are wrong. They don't care about how did it came to you, because sometimes you don't sleep around. Maybe you slept with that one person and then you get AIDS. Maybe you've been raped. Maybe you got it in an accident, but no one asked you where did you get it. They just assume that you've been sleeping around, you've got many boyfriends, so you're just useless.
I think South Africa is in a position to say that, wait, we're vocal about AIDS, we're talking about AIDS, so why is it that the statistics are going so much higher every single day?
It's patriarchal constructs. And when this happened, I don't know, long before my mother's time, but some guy somewhere constructed this bullshit about women. And if I find the bug, I'm gonna fuck him up. Sorry.
I always wanted more than the men in my life, and that frustrates me.
Well, then get yourself another man that wants it all the time.
I've actually wondered if how many do I need? Like 5 or so, just to keep me satisfied. Yes.
I think shagging and making love are the same in terms that you both orgasm.
Driving along Chapman's Peak involved in sexual activity in a combi.
Baby, let's not make love. Let's just have sex. Let's shag.
That stage, you know, when you reach the climax, it was my first time I saw it.
If you can nurture me, we can have fantastic sex. If you can't nurture me, it'll just be shagging.
They don't get a hot on because they come home and they're stressed. They're not eating properly. They're not exercising properly.
It's hard, because you'll crush his ego, shame, man.
You poor man with that penis of yours. You know, maybe if I had a penis, I'd be crazy like you.
They make it so dirty, and like when they discuss it, they use like vulgar language, and like with girls, it's just like gorgeous.
I love to watch porn. I love to read porn, and I'm quite happy masturbating.
It's always in the room. For me, it's not like that anymore. On the table, in the garden, wherever.
I don't like a quickie in the morning before you go to work.
When I go through periods where I have a lot of sex, I'm stupid. I'm like living off my hormones, and my head's in this total cloud, and I'm in bliss. And I'm like, oh God.
I've discovered the best reason for being a woman, and that's multiple orgasms.